If you're watching this video, I'm Jamie Grayson. I am a child passenger safety technician, internationally certified in three different countries. And I've been working in the baby gear industry for 20 years. Now, because I'm taking over this channel, a lot of you are probably wondering where the great Ellie Garak is. Unfortunately, I don't have a shock of white hair to distinguish me on the internet. I have known Ellie for a very, very long time. And as a lot of you know, he closed Magic Beans, most of the stores during the pandemic, and then ended up closing the stores and just going virtual. He is now retired from the baby industry. And we talked for probably 7 or 8 months about me taking this channel over. I'm very happy to have it. Ellie wanted this channel to stay online and continue to be a resource for caregivers, parents with very good information. Not to pat myself on the back, but I've been doing this a very long time. So I've wanted to put more content out on this video channel. It has just been a lot of travel over the past few months. Lainey, who's in the chat, we both travel with an event series called Babies and Bumps. It is for new and expectant parents, other caregivers, and it is a lot of educational resources, a lot of seminars. We have a booth full of baby gear. And then I have a seminar at the end of the day going over car seats and strollers and all of that. We give everything away. We have 5 more events this year. We have Cincinnati, Cleveland, Charlotte, Nashville, and Houston. So if you want to come see me in person, come hang out. You can win a lot of stuff. One item, but we give away a lot. And hopefully, once event season kind of mellows out, I will be able to start doing more on here. So this car seat showdown series that we started back early in the days of Coco was because we were both on the road with events all the time. The events go away. How do we get information out there? So we decided to start doing virtual showdowns with a couple different retailers, and we would do like play yard showdown, stroller showdown, car seat showdown, high chair showdown, stroller wagon showdowns. And we had all of these over on Facebook, but then Facebook changed their rules. And now they only keep live videos for 30 days. And we loved having those videos over there as a resource that people could always go get information from for free. So now we're doing all of the showdown videos here so that you can get good, accurate information without a paywall in front of it. And there are lots of other very good classes out there that you can buy. My friend Holly is actually in the chat right now. She has terrific classes at Safe Beginnings on her website. But I want to keep this channel running a little differently. So we have a showdown we just did last night on baseless car seats. We have infant car seats tonight. And next week, we will be doing a convertible car seat showdown. And we have another one coming up in about a month, so stay tuned. So we're going to start this whole situation here. Again, we have 5 car seats tonight. We have the Baby Jogger City Go 2. We have the Revolve 180 LiteMax NXT from Evenflo. We have the SnugRide SnugFit DLX from Graco. Graco has a lot of different SnugRides and SnugFits. Just work with me. We have the Perego Lounge, and we have the Juni from Romer. And just to kind of give you, we're going to kind of structure this a little differently. So I'm going to give you a couple like basic safety tips when it comes to just car seats in general. I'm going to go over features and bases, and then features in the shell, and then just kind of go through all of the seats and how they install different things they have, etc. So first and foremost, when you're using your infant car seat, always have your baby harnessed correctly every single time. I don't care if you think your baby needs like a little more room, if you have them in the car seat and you like go to a restaurant or put them on the floor. Unfortunately, if the baby's harness is not tight enough, the baby can slide down the shell of the seat, which puts them in a compromised position to not allow their airway to stay open. So it is very, very important that the harness is always used correctly every single time your baby is in the car seat. This also applies to strollers. It applies to high chairs. Any baby product that has a harness, use it correctly every time. Secondly, your infant car seat, a lot of people get these because, you know, they work great to like pop on a stroller, live your life, make a little travel system. One of the big problems is a lot of new caregivers will want their baby as close to them as possible in the beginning. And then you just kind of get bored of your kid. But they will put the car seat with the baby up on an elevated surface, like an island or a kitchen table or a coffee table or a couch or another chair. That is not safe. A car seat with a baby in it should never ever go on an elevated surface. This also applies to shopping carts. And I don't care that some shopping carts have those docks in them. Those are not approved by any car seat manufacturer. So shopping can be a little tricky. Baby wear if you can. Push a stroller, get pickup. If you have to put the car seat in the shopping cart, put it in the larger part in the bottom. That is the only acceptable place to put it if you have to. I'm trying to think what else in terms of just a couple basic things to hit on here. These car seats are also not an approved sleeping device, okay? So if you take your baby out of the car or off of a stroller and you put them on the floor and the baby's asleep, get the baby out and put them on a flat surface, like a safe sleep environment. We also don't want to keep our kids in car seats all day. We are the only culture that does this. It is not great for them developmentally. So if you're going to use one of these, and these are not a bad thing, these are a wonderful tool for people for transportation. If you're going to use one of these, make sure you get your baby out, let them stretch, get a little movement, feed them, change their diaper every 2 to 2.5 hours. That is very, very important. That's just a couple different basic safety things. Other things we will hit. At some point, I'm also just going to do like a car seat safety class on here to cover a lot of basics. So when we're looking at your, you know what, let me just grab my little baby over here because I do use Perego and Juni quite a bit at Babies and Bumps. So if you're looking at your infant seat, and again, the other video we did was baseless, typically your infant seat or rear-facing only seat, I prefer calling it a rear-facing only seat because sometimes you can use a convertible with an infant. So those are also an infant seat. Typically your seat will have two major defining characteristics. You have the base with the handle, the carrier with the handle, and then you have the base. So when we are looking at features on a base, and none of these are absolutely necessary, a very simple car seat without these features will still keep your baby safe and do its job if it's installed correctly, fit your child, and used correctly, okay? So don't stress out. But if we're looking at features that can, in some cases, go above and beyond that bare minimum, when we're looking at ease of use and ease of installation features, one thing that I really like is something called a push-on or premium latch attachment. It is this little guy right here. It looks like a stapler. And what this allows you to do, there are 3 basic styles of lower anchor connectors. There are J-hooks, which do their job, but they can be a pain in the butt to get in and out of your vehicle. There are push-on connectors like this that are much easier to get in and out, and then there are rigid latch, and we have a seat with rigid latch we'll go over later. So I do really like a push-on or premium latch attachment or even rigid latch. And when you see how rigid latch works, it may kind of blow your mind. And it's not great in every single vehicle. Sometimes it can be tricky, but it's a really nice feature. Another thing I would want you to look for is something called a built-in lock-off if you're going to be using a seatbelt to install your car seat. Now, there are things, it's kind of controversial terminology. Some of us in the space, even though this would be considered a lock-off here on this base, when you use it, seatbelt, tighten it, slam that down. Some people still consider this a lock-off, but with this specific car seat from Perego, you still have to lock the seatbelt. Some of us in this space like what we call a true lock-off, which means you don't have to lock the seatbelt. We have a couple of those in the video tonight. You will also notice there are 2 features on here in terms of base features that I really like. You have a load leg and you have an anti-rebound bar. So in a installed car seat, this is going to be against the back. I know I'm sitting in it. We'll show you when I install it. A load leg is going to touch the floorboard of your vehicle. And in a crash, we have action and reaction, or rotation and rebound. So everything rotates towards the point of impact, rebounds back into place. By having a load leg, a lot of that crash energy is going to be diverted through the base, down to the load leg, and into the floorboard. And it's really going to help eliminate a whole lot of that initial rotation in a crash, which means there's less rebound. A rebound bar Doesn't necessarily do anything for that initial rotation in a crash, but it does really help with that rebound going backward. That being said, not every vehicle will allow for use of a load leg, so check your vehicle manual. Whenever you get a car seat, always check your vehicle manual, always read your car seat manual, and always register your products. That is how companies get a hold of you if there was some kind of a recall. Okay, it's very, very important to register your products. So these are just a few features that I like on a base. A couple things with your infant carrier, just for basics. You have a carry handle like this. There is no black and white across the board what position this carry handle needs to be in. Sometimes it's up, sometimes it's back. Sometimes it can be in any locked position that your car seat has. One thing I like about this particular Perego seat, similar to the Urban Mobility from last night, is the carry handle goes, when it's installed without the base, the carry handle goes towards the foot of the baby. So this turns that carry handle into an anti-rebound bar. There are not many seats that install baseless that have that feature, and I think that's pretty terrific. This car seat also has a European belt path. We'll talk about that when we start installing these. This is a wonderful feature if you travel a lot, deal with ride shares, or want to buy one infant car seat and kind of shuttle it between vehicles. European belt routes are a wonderful, wonderful thing. And when we're looking at the harness, the peg, let me loosen this up a little bit. So when we're looking at harnesses, there are two styles. There are rethread harnesses and no rethread harnesses. As your child gets older, you have to adjust the harness to help your child fit properly in their car seat. Typically in a rear-facing seat, the shoulder harness needs to be at or below the shoulders. So if you have a rethread harness, usually there's 4 to 5 slots in the seat. Sometimes there can be one more. As your child's shoulders their torso gets taller, you need to unthread the harness, thread it back through. Some people actually prefer that in an infant seat because it's easier for you to see and you're not having to adjust this up and down. Some people like the convenience of just being able to adjust that harness height without having to rethread. It is 6 of one, half dozen of the other, to be completely honest. I look at it as like, if you're a new parent looking at slots in a shell of a car seat, you will see those easier and be like, oh, I need to kind of adjust that up. And you're not doing it a whole lot with your infant seat. With a forward-facing convertible, I love a no rethread harness because it just makes that adjustment easier. But in an infant seat like this, it's not a deal breaker to me if your seat does not have a no rethread harness. Other than that, there are a couple other features with this seat, but we're not going to start with Perego because I like doing things in alphabetical order. So we are going to start with a seat that I think doesn't get enough street cred, similar to their rotating seat, which will be in our convertible car seat showdown. This is the Baby Jogger City Go 2. Now, it has a wonderfully satisfying base to install. It's terrific. This goes from 4 to 30 pounds or 32 inches. The infant insert is in here. It's required to use 6 pounds and under. Get it out. It's optional up until about 12, and then you can like deal with it for fit of the child. It is, come here. Where you go? A no rethread harness. Very easy to adjust back here, adjust that harness height. Carry handle position can actually be in any position whatsoever. They allow it wherever you want to leave it, which I think is kind of nice. And the seat itself, this weighs just about 10 and a half, just under 11 pounds. So it's not very heavy. It's not like one of the lightest on the market. And just to reiterate, I weigh all of these myself. Like I see the manufacturer's sites, a lot of them weigh them like without the canopies, without the infant inserts. You're gonna eventually take these out. You'll always have a canopy on these. Nobody takes them off. So I weigh it just like this. This is just over 10 and a half pounds. Not awful. Now, when we are looking at this base, obviously it has lower anchors. You can install it with that. I think just to be a dork, I'm going to show you how it works with the seatbelt because I think it's really fun. It does have really easy to read level indicators. The car seat, when you install it, make sure you install it on flat land. Okay, your car seat, the level of your car seat is very, very important, specifically with a newborn, because ideally you want that car seat at about 45 degrees so that your baby's head stays back and does not drip forward like this. If it drops forward, it can compromise the airway and lead to airway obstruction, which obviously we want to avoid. So always, always, always check the angle indicator on your seat. Sometimes it's a water bubble like this. Sometimes it's a ball. Sometimes it's just a sticker on the side of the shell. But this is a very easy thing to install. This also has an adjustable foot, so you can adjust it as needed based on your vehicle. So if you're looking at this, this has an anti-rebound bar, obviously, which I love. But one of the things I think a lot of people don't talk about enough with an anti-rebound bar is when you're installing it in your vehicle, this almost acts as like an extra plate of compression against your vehicle seat. So it really helps to get a really nice tight install a lot of the time. And when you install this, the entire anti-rebound bar slides up. So here in the base of your seat, you have your belt path. And just so y'all can see how this installs, because I am a nerd and I love it, you're gonna pull your seat belt out and make sure you go under those belt guides, buckle that down, and then you're gonna put your shoulder belt under there as well. You're gonna pull that tight. You don't wanna go like crazy, crazy tight because sometimes it can affect this getting shut. Then push that down and lock that into place. Obviously, you want to make sure this is at the correct angle based on your vehicle, but that is a beautifully satisfying install of the car seat base. I absolutely love that. And when we test for tightness of the base, some people will grab the butt right here. This is not where we test. Take your hand, grab the belt path. The reason we test at the belt path is because that is the closest point of connection to the actual vehicle. You want to make sure it's tight there. So grab the belt path, left, right, front, back, no more than an inch of movement, you're good. If it's a little too loose and wobbly, undo it, tighten it up, see what you can do. I absolutely love this base installation. It's wonderful. Lower anchors act the same way, and they are hidden in a little compartment right here. But this is a very, very satisfying base. This seat itself, obviously, can be installed without the base. Just to reiterate, from the baseless showdown, every car seat currently available for purchase in the United States, an infant seat like this, can be installed without the base. There are a couple older exceptions, such as older Orbit seats and the Nuna Pippa Lite that do require bases. So if you have those and they have not expired or been in a crash, they're still fine to use them. And the Pippa Lite is still available in Canada. But in the United States, all the seats that come with bases, you can just do this. And how this works is you will notice right there, that is the belt path for the lap belt, okay? Now, if you're looking at the back, and again, not every car seat has these, and this is a huge thing for me. Like I said earlier, this is called the European belt path. What this does is you're going to take, let me get this down so you can kind of see. You're going to take the lap belt. My retractor, bless her heart, she has seen it. She has seen some stuff here, and she kind of gets jammed every now and then. So you're going to take that lap belt through there, pull this out slowly so that you do not engage that retractor, and then come back here around the back of the seat. This shoulder belt is going to thread, come here, through that belt path in the back. Now, what we're going to do is pull that slack out there, pull your shoulder belt out slowly. Come here. Come here. You're going to retract for me? There we go. So you're going to pull your shoulder bar out slowly, not like a jerk, and then you'll hear like a, and it goes kick, 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 kick. That means you switched your retractor into locking mode. So you're going to let this go, feed this back up into the shoulder, take your hand. That is a very good install, okay? It is a really nice seat. I can't wait for y'all to see their rotating seat. It is excellent. Come here. Let's get you undone. And it's great. Now you are stuck on the back. When you are looking at strollers for this particular car seat, obviously, Baby Jogger is going to be your best bet. Baby Jogger makes a ton of different strollers. They have City Mini GTs. They've got their City Select. They've got the City Tour. So you have a lot of options. But it's a very, very nice seat. So there you go with that. Now, we will move to a seat that's gotten a whole lot of press and it's gone very viral. The Evenflo Revolve 180 LiteMax NXT. So, again, you've got the shell, you've got the base. So, this seat let's talk about the seat itself first. This seat goes from 3 to 30 pounds or 32 inches. It is also not like a super lightweight seat, but it's not awful. It's just over 9 pounds with your batteries in it. The infant insert is mandatory from 3 to 6 pounds. After 6 pounds, it's optional based on the baby's fit and comfort. The handlebar can also be in any position. And why we like that is because this car seat has a light bar in it. So you can have lights, you can have music, you can have all of it, and it will connect via an app on your phone or with like Siri when you yell in your car. It's very, very fun. There. Let me turn you off. There. It uses batteries in it. You don't have to recharge it, and they're also not lithium batteries. I have rechargeable batteries in here just because I'm always swapping things in and out. But it's really, really nice. And it's not as aggressive, come here, as people think. On the app, you can change volume, you can change brightness. You're way more in control than you are just with the buttons on the side. But it's very nice. And when I first saw this, man, almost 2 years ago privately before it was launched, one of the things I thought from like a practical standpoint of using this is if you're putting a baby in the car at night or getting them out, this is a very mellow light to have instead of like an overhead light in your car to get them harnessed or, get them out. So I think this is a very nice feature to have. It also has European belt route for installation, which is nice. And another nice feature of this is they do have a fabric that's made out of like recycled water bottles and whatnot if you're trying to be a little more eco-friendly. So if we were looking at the base, it is one of the only rotating infant car seat bases on the market. Although if you're looking at like from a practical standpoint, the rotation of convertible seats is a great feature specifically for rear-facing kids because as they get heavier, it's harder to buckle them in. I think it's terrific. Rotating infant seats like this can be very good for people with mobility issues. Also, if like you want to get all of the usage out of your infant car seat, because again, 30 pounds, 32 inches, or like the 1-inch roll above the head, they can get a little heavy with these car seats. And that's why when you see other car seats that are like, we're super lightweight, we're 5.5 pounds, once you put a 20-pound kid in a car seat, they're all heavy. So this would allow you to basically have this in your car, have it like this, swing the car seat towards you, get the baby out, put the baby back in, boom, and get like a little more length of use, obviously as long as they're within the parameters set by your manufacturer, out of this one seat. So if we are looking at this base itself, you will notice there is a little like a hole attachment here for an accessory. Evenflo sells a load leg attachment. So if you want that load leg and your vehicle allows it, by all means, get that for this. It's great. I just don't happen to have it on me, but you do have a really nice foot for adjustment of the angle. But I think one of my favorite things is the actual lock off. Now, this is not what we would call a true lock off. You still have to lock the seatbelt, but this is massive. This is like, it's like Audrey 2 in Little Shop. And I know I use that reference a lot, but I'm a gay musical theater kid, and that's just how I operate. So this is a really, really nice lock off. So to show you how this works, we want to make sure, again, angle is correct. Move that down a little bit. We are good. So pop that up. You're going to pull the seatbelt out. And even though, like, obviously these seats can all be installed with lower anchors, for sake of this video, I just think it's way more interesting to show how the seatbelts work, because seatbelts always do a great job. They are always fine, and then you don't have to worry about weight limits on lower anchors. Now, that being said, with your infant seats like this, you really won't ever have to worry about lower anchor weight limits. We'll talk about those when we do convertibles. So there are two little blue teeth under here. You want to make sure that your seatbelt is under those teeth, not on top of it. You press this down, boop, and then you would pull this out, engage that retractor, lock the seatbelt. This is a really, really nice install, and it's also not a very wide seat. So I think that's pretty easy. And from a door key standpoint, I like it, but I'm a car seat nerd, and that's how I operate. Now, when it comes to stroller compatibility with this, right now, Evenflo does have a list on their site. They are still testing it for compatibility with some of their strollers and other strollers as well. But you can get a very nice travel system specifically for this called the Shift Intuity Plus. We have that with us on the road this year. And I just realized I forgot to turn my air conditioner down in here. So what a gift for me. But this is a really, really, really nice little car seat. We did not talk about SensorySoothe. So SensorySoothe, this chest clip, Evenflo and Cybex have this technology in their chest clips, some of their chest clips, called SensorySoothe. What this does is connect to an app on your phone. So if your kid undoes it, if they've been in the car seat too long, if the temperature gets too extreme, or you have left your child in the car, you will get an alert on your phone. And then if you don't respond to that alert within a certain amount of time, it starts going through your emergency contacts that you set up. So I think this is a really nice feature to have, and I thought you should know about it. So there you go. And some people, I'm just going to address this really quickly. Over on the land of TikTok, there was a guy who had one of these, and he's like, the base, this moves too much. I'm not comfortable with this. Obviously, when you introduce more moving parts into a base, there can be, or a car seat period, there will be more movement. That's just the nature of the beast because it's not one solid piece. This thing has been crash tested. These seats are not just put on the market willy-nilly without being safe. And I promise you, the people behind these companies want these car seats to do their job and keep your children safe. They're not just like putting out car seats to make money. And if you look at the mechanics of this seat and like how this operates, there are 4 metal bars in the base that connect to this. Some car seats only have 2. Some car seats, it's just like a foot that comes out and connects in, and those are all good. But just know, this attaches to 4 metal bars in the base of this seat. So it is safe, it is great. Yes, sometimes there can be movement, but that is okay. And it is expected. So Now we're going to go to Graco. This is the SnugRide SnugFit DLX 24601. This seat is 9.5, just under 9.5 pounds. It is suitable from hold please. No, we'll address that with another seat. This is why I don't plan things out. So this is suitable from 4 to 30 pounds or 32 inches. Again, weighs just about 9.5 pounds. You do have an infant insert. This is for less than 12 pounds. The handle can be in any locked position in the vehicle. That being said, let's take a look at the handle. So if you notice on most other car seats, if you're going to adjust this handle, there are 2 triggers on the side. It is a 2-handed mechanism for you to move this handle around. This Graco seat and another one coming up, there's a button here in the handle that allows you to do this one-handed. So that's a really, really nice feature for moving the handle, getting your baby in and out, and then putting this back if you want this in that upward position in the car. But again, that's not necessary. So it does have a no rethread harness. In terms of stroller attachments, there are a multitude. Graco obviously is also a stroller manufacturer, but a lot of other stroller manufacturers make adapters for Graco car seats because these are accessible, they're easy to install, and they do their job. So it's a really, really nice seat. And if you want to go back and look at the baseless video, you can see the go backs, which I also love. So this is their base. Again, you have this anti-rebound bar. It's terrific. You have their snug lock. And I will tell you right now, if you talk to anyone in the CPST community, I won't say anyone, but like most people, most of us, we all love snug lock. It's a really good lock off for the seatbelt or your lower anchors. And this just is a very solid seat to install. Now, when it comes to install with this guy, again, you want to make sure your seat is at the correct angle. There is a level indicator there on the side with a water bubble. You're going to pop that up. I feel like this is just going to be like, oh, did you get turned around? You sure did. No, you didn't. Yes, you did. Hold on. Boop. Okay. And that, nope, come here. Turn around. Triangle trick. Okay. So when you are installing this base, you're going to come through the belt path. Come here. Make sure there are no folds and no creases in your seatbelt. Same goes when you're harnessing your child. Here. Boop. Go up under that blue area. It is labeled blue. It is rear facing. Most manufacturers at this point stick to blue for rear facing as well. Get that slack out. Again, you don't want to pull too crazy hard. Smash the snug lock down, and you're good to go. Very easy to do. And again, Graco, great seats. They are accessible when it comes to prices. And you can also get them in a lot of different retailers. So if you're looking at like Walmart, Target, etc., you're going to be able to find a Graco seat. So very, very solid car seat right there. Now, what do we have left? A lounge and a Juni. So let's talk about the lounge. This is from a company called Perego. They are Italian. Almost all of their stuff is designed, engineered, and made in Italy, which is great, especially right now while tariffs kind of fluctuate and we don't know what's going on. So this seat is very similar to the Urban Mobility or the Nido, but the reason I would want you to look at this is, again, we don't want to keep our kids in car seats all day. It's not great, but this is one of the only seats on the market that will recline on a stroller. This does not recline in a vehicle, but if you put this on a stroller and recline it, it does give your baby more room, more comfort, and they're not going to be held in that C shape. So I think that's a very, very nice feature of this particular seat. Again, it does have that European belt path, okay, which we talked about earlier. And you will notice on the side, it has these little kinetic pods, okay? So this, we're going to pretend, you know what? We're going to say you have this behind the passenger seat of the vehicle. This kinetic pod on the side facing the door, you're going to twist this out. You don't do it on the interior side of the car seat, and if you install this in the middle, you don't do it at all. But on the side facing the door, you extend that, and it adds a level of side impact protection. So that way, the first point of the shell of the seat that is hit by the vehicle door is going to be that pod. Knock that down, and then a lot of that energy is going to be diverted around the shell, which is terrific, instead of directly on the baby. I feel like I already talked about the seat quite a bit just in the beginning, but I do want to show you just how this works. Also, the lounge, because of the mechanics involved in allowing it to recline, in terms of the seats I have in this video, it is the heaviest. It's just about 12.5 pounds, but that's also with all of the inserts in it. Eventually, some of those will come out, or they can come out. But again, you kind of deal with it for the ability to have that seat recline. So just to, again, demonstrate, like, load like an anti-rebound bar so that you can see what it would look like in like a mock-up here. So anti-rebound bar against your seat right here. I'm going to open that lock off. Did you twist again? I tell you, this devil, there we go. Thread through the belt path. And it's a personal thing for me. Like, I prefer in some seats doing the lap belt first. Come here. And then make sure it goes under that. And then doing the shoulder belt. Some seats are a little easier if you line them up together. But that is all just like personal preference. So you're gonna pull that tight, slam that down, test for tightness, then you would engage that retractor. But if you're looking at this seat, you have the load leg. Some people call this a stability leg or stability bar. But that, again, acts against that initial rotation down and rebound back into place. So that is what it would look like in your vehicle. I love load legs just from like a nerdy safety standpoint. That being said, if your car seat doesn't have this or you can't use it, your car seat will still be safe and do its job if it's installed correctly and used correctly and fits your kid. So, load leg up. Come here. There we go. Get you out. Y'all, it is warm in here. This is what happens when you don't turn on your air conditioning. Now, the next seat is a very fun one to play with. This is the Juni from Romer. And Romer is a sister company to Britax. They've been in other countries for years. A lot of us were very excited to get these car seats over here because not only are they like a very beautiful seat, but just some of the tech in it and like nerdy stuff is very fun to play with. So if we are looking at the seat itself, this is it. It weighs just about 10.5 pounds. It is 4 to 30 pounds or 32 inches. You use the infant insert optionally from 4 to 30 pounds based on the fit of your baby. Now, that being said, this is what I wanted to talk about with the Evenflo seat, but I'll talk about it with this seat specifically. Sometimes with a smaller baby, the hip slack area can be very hard to get a really good fit. So this seat and the Evenflo come here. They have multiple slots within the hip shell to help adjust the hip slack in. So you use it on the inner slot. I want to say with this one, it's until 11 pounds. And then after 11 pounds, you adjust the hip slot out. It's very, very fun. It's very excellent. I wonder if you'll be able to see it better under here. Yeah, actually. So if you look under here, that's the inner slot. This is the outer slot, those pieces right there. So it will get a really, really nice fit on a very small baby, which I appreciate. This also has a similar one-handed handle adjustment, which I really, really like. Now, the fabrics on this are machine wash and dryer safe, which is not common. I didn't go over those on the other seats for some reason because I get plank, but this is machine wash and machine dry. Now, if you're looking for like a more eco-forward seat, this also, the fabrics are a blend of like recycled water bottles and pulverized oyster shells. And I don't know who had this idea to see what oyster shells you could like pulverize and turn into fabric, but they did it. And it is antimicrobial, it's moisture wicking, it's good for temperature regulation as well. And it just feels very, very nice. Like this feels like an excellent fabric. And just from a nerdy standpoint, I love that the harness pads on this seat are they have a magnet in them to keep them shut. So I like that. Now, this also has a European belt route, again, for that extra security and a baseless install. You have a really nice canopy, but it also has a zip out drape. So it's magnetic and you can pull this out and it attaches down at the bottom for coverage, but also airflow. Again, this is great for inclement weather. If old people want to get their hands in your baby's business, and they always do, this is a really nice barrier. But it's just like a very, very beautiful seat. You know, peekaboo window with screen back here. I love the seat, and it does again, very nice job fitting a very small newborn. Now, we're going to talk about this base because I'm obsessed with it, even though I'm sweating. When I got to see this base in person for the first time, just from an aesthetic standpoint and a dorky standpoint, I was like hooked. This is what it looks like. So instead of like most bases that are like solid all the way down, this has like an open area down here. Now this is steel, okay? This is not a lightweight base. This is steel. This is sturdy. You have an anti-rebound bar. You will also notice right here something. This seat, this load leg is included. So if you want to use it, great. Or if you can't, you don't do it. But it just snaps. Come here. It snaps into the base if you want to use it. Now, earlier when I was talking about the 3 different styles of lower anchors, there are J-hooks, there are push-on, and then there's rigid latch. This seat has rigid latch. And if you've never seen that before, basically you pull the lower anchor attachments out like this. Got it? So what you do, again, make sure this is at the proper angle. You're going to attach those to the lower anchor bars in your vehicle, shut that handle down, and press that into your car. It is so secure and so sturdy and so satisfying. It's like the 3 S's of car seat installs. And it's great. And then you would just adjust your load leg, obviously all the way down. Now, you can also use a seatbelt install on this. The seatbelt install is also terrific. It goes under this handle and you shut that down. Oh, come here. But this is an excellent seat. And what they also do, if you combine all of this together, there is some material, if you look right here in the shell, it's kind of hard to see this honeycomb stuff. It's almost like a crumple zone in a vehicle. So that would collapse and help absorb crash energy in a collision. When it comes to like the anti-rebound bar, the load leg, rigid latch, a lock off, a steel base, a European belt path. This really just has a whole lot of very excellent ease of use and installation features, which can help the safety of your car seats because it can make it easier for you to use correctly. Now, when it comes to stroller compatibility, Romer does have strollers, but this also has a very good chart. If you go to the Romer website, there is a list of stroller compatibility. It is similar in compatibility to those European style adapters. So we're thinking of Nuna, Cybex, Maxi Cozy, Kleck adapters, very similar right here. And then this handlebar can be in any position whatsoever, although Romer says if possible, they do prefer it up to act as that, anti-rebound in a collision situation. Now, one thing I did not go over is depth of these seats. So they're all about 28 and a half inches long, except for the Peg Perego. And the reason that one is a little bit longer, the base is a little bit longer, but if you install the lounge on the base, they want the carry handle back. So that makes the shell stick out a little bit longer. So on a base, this is going to be about 33 inches wide or deep, rather. Also know that those are estimates. Those numbers that you see on the websites are like a good thing to kind of go by, but they can vary a little bit based on your own vehicle seat and the shape of it. But just know for a smaller vehicle, if you were going to do a Peg Perego seat, I would lean towards doing the urban mobility or getting if you wanted this recline seat, get it and install it without the base to save you some room. So that was 5 car seats. I don't know how I'm doing on time. Let me see there. 48 minutes, not bad. It's car seat CrossFit in here. So yeah, make sure you enter to win. We are giving all of these away. We're actually giving 19 car seats away throughout this campaign. We're going to let it go, for a week or so after all these videos are done. So tell your friends, hit that heart notification. We love hit those hearts. Hearts. And this is a lot of information. So obviously you probably didn't retain a whole lot of it. So as I'm learning YouTube, I'm going back to edit and figure things out and make chapters. So I have chapters on the base list so you can go to the car seats you want to see. I'll do the same with all of these. Thank y'all for hanging out. I'm going to stay here and look at a couple questions really quick if we got any. And then I'm going to get these all off my floor. I hope you learned something. Thank y'all for hanging out.